And here we are in the Rowdy Studios. I'm Buzz Cutler, sitting alongside Bassmasters. I think you should sit as far away as possible.
Yeah, that's what they did at the press
conference. If we're going to talk about Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards at Charlotte, they couldn't have gotten any further away in the post-race press conference, or they would have been in separate buildings. Okay, so I guess I'll shoot this one alone because Bassmasters he's gone away. Okay, so Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, put your mic back on. We're probably going to have all kinds of
I hurt my shoulder. I think I may have separated my shoulder.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you in the better half dash?
No, no.
Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch.
Because I'm the worst half.
They had a run-in late in the race at Charlotte.
Yes.
And pretty much immediately after the race, before Kyle Busch had even gotten out of his car, Carl Edwards went and stuck his head into the window of the 18
yes.
and basically gave Kyle Busch a talking to.
There's a difference between racing hard and then just cutting across the guy's nose. And, what I told Kyle is I just wondered why coming off of turn 2 when I got underneath him that, he drove down instead of going up to the wall like we'd normally do. And I just let him know that next time that happens, I'll just stay where I'm at and he can drive across my hood and wreck himself.
So he felt like Kyle came down on him there, and he gave Kyle a break and wasn't prepared to do it again and wanted Kyle to know that. Now, for Kyle's part, he had a slightly different explanation.
My car got loose, and it started moving out a little bit, and I just held the wheel straight, and it was essentially steering almost downhill. I ran him a little tight. Essentially, it made me run him a little tight off turn 2, and then I just hugged on his door down the backstretch to, kind of side draft him to keep him alongside of me to give me another chance at redeeming myself through 3 and 4 and getting back by him, and it worked out. So
my question to you is: are we going to see these guys? Are they now enemies? Or are they going to have a feud?
They're frenemies.
I think.
No, here's what I think.
They're okay.
I think what happened. I think what this was about. I think this was about gamesmanship on Carl Edwards' part. He's in Kyle Busch's head, and don't tell me that Kyle Busch isn't gonna stop and think for a moment when he's around the 99 for the rest of this chase. Now, I don't know that it's going to be a big deal, but Kyle Busch now is aware that Carl Edwards said, you mess with me and I'm going to take you out.
Well, Carl Edwards has a history of living up to his word in that regard.
So I think it's gamesmanship, man.
I don't know if it's as thought out as that. I think Carl Edwards was just trying to be pretty straight up about it, which is...
Like Paula Abdul?
Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking. I think he's basically saying... Look, it's good parenting is what it is. This is what's going to happen. If you do this again, this is what's going to happen. Now he has to follow through on that.
Okay, exactly.
And it is good to know if you're Kyle Busch. And I think the way they dealt with it was, here's what Carl saw, here's what Kyle saw. They communicated with each other. They did not wreck each other. So I think all's well that ends well in this case. But yes, Carl Edwards now may get just a smidgen more room.
But
I'd give him a smidgen more room.
As you said, the key to good parenting, and Carl is now a parent, and I'm sure he's taken parenting classes. The key to good parenting is to not only establish the boundaries, but then when those boundaries are violated,
then you have to
follow
deliver
through
the consequences.
With the consequences, you have to follow through with your threat. Not that you would ever threaten your children. But you have to follow through with what you said you're going to do. All right? If you do that again, you're going to go to your room and you don't get to play Xbox for the rest of the week. Or whatever it is.
I don't have an Xbox.
Well, Kyle Busch loves his Xbox. So Carl Edwards has to be prepared, and I think he is.
To take away the Xbox?
To take away the Xbox.
Yeah, I think he is too. But I don't think these guys are in some kind of feud either.
I don't think they're in a feud, but I think Carl now has Kyle thinking, I think.
Well, maybe Kyle should make Carl think.
And take away his Xbox.
All right.
For Bassmasters, I'm Buzz Cutler.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.